What's up guys, welcome to part 2 of the creature card tier list. The reason I split this video into 2 parts is because otherwise it would be a really long 1-part video. So, apologies for doing that, but welcome back, this is part 2. We're going to continue ranking the rest of the bugs in the tier list. Don't forget to leave your opinions down below. Don't be too rude about it, please. Please try to keep it respectful in the comments. And let's get straight into it. Mosquitoes! One of the most annoying enemies in the game. You can kill them to get the Tiger Mosquito Rapier. You don't need to kill them to get anything else, really. There's nothing crazy that you need to kill them for. D tier, maybe. They're really annoying. The only thing I'm happy about with these guys is they changed it so they don't chase after you anymore. They'll leave you alone if you run away, which is really nice. Thank you for that, devs. I appreciate that because it was so annoying. Next, we have the Moth. Now, the Moth, if you have a Sour Staff, is easy to kill. If you're using any other weapon, it's going to be a bit more challenging. Where do I put it? The only thing the Moth is good for is Moth Armor. It doesn't let you craft anything else. This would be another thing that I would make in the plate presser that I mentioned earlier. I would make it so you can use the Moth Scales to make tier 3 plates as well. For me, you could go through the entire game and not even know the Moths exist. I'll be honest. You don't need to kill them at any point. I'm going to put it in Moth in a C tier, I think. We're going to have to zoom out a bit here. My tier list is getting rather large. Right, next we have the Orb Weaver Jr. and the Orb Weaver. Orb Weaver Jr. poisons you, is annoying as hell, C tier. Actually, D tier. You don't ever need to kill these guys. They poison you. They don't really drop too many spider chunks, so yeah. Orb Weavers, though, I think they're a solid B tier. They're not difficult to kill at all. They give you spider chunks, which you can use for repair glue, but it's very expensive. They give you spider chunks, which you can use, obviously, for spider armor. They give you a little bit of web fiber, but I can't really fault these guys. They're not crazy strong, crazy weak. I think I'll put them in a B tier. Red Soldier Ants. I think I'll put these guys in an A tier. You can get their mandibles. They're pretty easy to kill. Use the mandibles to craft the Red Ant Club, obviously, which I really, really like in the game. It's one of the best tier 2 weapons. You can get it very early on. So, for me, I can't see any reason not to put them in A tier. Red Worker Ants, I guess B tier. Again, they drop the parts, the red ant parts. They're very easy to kill. You can get heads from them as well. You can use this to craft the Red Ant Armor, which will make it easier to go into the Red Ant Nest in the future. Yeah, it's a good early game set of armor if that's what you want, if that's what you like to use. It's good for building, so they're very easy to kill, very easy to farm to get those parts. I'd definitely put these in a B tier. I mean, I can't put any of the robots. I think all the robots have to go in D tier, right? All the robots. What else we got? I'll leave Assistant Manager. All the other two, the Ruz-T and Taze-T, D tier as well. They don't really give you anything useful. The only thing that's good about the robots is they can guarantee you a gold card if you kill them all on the map, which is really good if you're trying to get Trapper Peeper. Scarabs. You need the twinkling shells, so they can't go anything below a B tier for me. They have really bad drop rates, but how difficult are they to kill? It depends how good you are at the game. They made it a lot easier by adding them in the pipe, which I'm not a fan of. I liked the challenge in the past of killing the scarabs. To farm the twinkling shells. Where do I put them, though? I think they're A tier. Difficult to kill, but worth it once you can get them. They're obviously not a threat in any way. You're not going to die to a scarab, but they're worthwhile, you know? If you can get you need the twinkling shells for the tier 3 rocks. If you're trying to upgrade your weapons, they're pretty difficult to kill. They're well balanced, in my opinion. Spiderlings. I think I have to put these guys in A tier. They're really, really good for farming web fiber. Not the best for farming web fiber, but they're good for farming web fiber. They're pretty easy to kill. The web fiber isn't a unique drop per se, but I'm also going to include the fact that these guys come from web sacks. So if you're getting these guys, you're probably breaking web sacks, which have a lot of other unique drops, which are really, really, really good. They're well balanced, you know, they're weak, but they're easy to kill. So, and they don't give you anything crazy good, but it's an A tier. Spiny Water Flea, ooh. I would have put these in D tier until they made it so they have a rare chance of dropping Pond Moss. Now they have to go in C tier for me. The Pond Moss is a really rare drop, but it does make a difference as it means you don't have to get the Black Widow Dagger in order to get the Pond Moss in the game. I would definitely say these guys can be really annoying. They're difficult to kill unless you have like a Rusty Spear, ideally Sour variant. They also are really bad because they'll all group up on you. You'll get a ton of them all swimming towards you at once, and you'll get ganged up on by the spiny water fleas. So you got to be really careful in that sense. But I'll put them in a C tier because the pond moss drop is pretty useful, and you can eat their meat raw.
Hey, yo!
The only meat you can eat raw in the game without taking negative effects, obviously. The stink bug has to be S tier as well, I think. The drops from the stink bug are the stink bug parts and the stink bug gas sacks. You need the parts to craft the tier 2 hammer. You can also use the parts to make repair glue. You need them for the gas mask, obviously. These guys aren't too difficult to kill as long as you have a gas mask. They're really, really easy to kill because they're basically not going to damage you, apart from a couple of attacks they do. So, this is an S tier. Easy to kill, good drops that you can use to progress the game, and there's nothing more to be said, you know what I mean? Tadpole. Tadpoles, I guess, can go in the same tier as the aphid and the gnat. You can kill them for food. I guess I'm going to put the weevil in this tier as well. You kill them, they give you food. Nothing crazy, you know, you eat the food. It's good. They're good if you want food. You can obviously use a couple of these guys to make jerky and stuff to make meals too, which is cool. You know, what do you want me to say? They're easy to kill. They're passive enemies. Termites. Ooh. The termite worker and soldier. Now, termite parts can be used for repair glue, which is a really big plus here. And it's only 4 parts per repair glue. You need to kill both of these. Well, not necessarily. You need to kill at least the soldier if you want to craft the insect axe. I'm going to put the soldier in A tier and the worker in A tier as well. The soldier, I would put in S, but he has that really annoying dust attack, which is a bit frustrating to deal with. The worker, I'm going to leave in A tier. The worker and the soldier are both going to go in A tier. The worker has a dust attack, which is a bit annoying, but you need the pincers, obviously, to progress the game. The termite parts are really good for repair glue. They drop a bit of tough gunk if you're really lucky. They drop a lot of acid glands, which you can use. So these have a lot of good drops. They're obviously pretty difficult to kill, so you've got to be pretty careful and very prepared when you're going here. I recommend some sort of stabbing weapon. Definitely a salty weapon. Next, we have the ticks. You only need to kill these guys to craft the tick Makawaka Weewa. They're very, 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 very strong. They do a lot of damage. They are pretty tough in terms of killing them. They're very small, which makes them hard to hit. D tier. You don't need to kill these guys. You could go through the game and completely avoid the ticks, and you wouldn't ever have to worry about it. Definitely a D tier enemy. Tiger mosquito. D tier. You can only use the beaks that this thing drops to make the rapier, which isn't a great weapon. Similar to the tick, it only makes one thing. You can't use it to make repair glue. You can't use it to make like any tier 3 rocks or anything. It's useless. These guys are here to annoy the living hell out of you, and for no other reason. They are just there to be annoying, and they do a great job of it, so it's a D tier enemy. Hard to kill, do a lot of damage, don't give you any good drops. D tier. Water boatman. I think I have to put this alongside the... Water boatman's going to go in C tier. You can obviously use his drops to craft the fin flops, but that's it. There's nothing else really to do with them. Maybe you can make like a meal or something, actually. I might be lying. There might be a meal you can make or a smoothie. Maybe both. But it's just there, you know what I mean? He doesn't really drop too much. He exists. Water flea. C tier. Now, I know what you're saying. Everything else in B tier drops meat. This one's C because he's aggressive. He does a little bit of damage to you every once in a while. All the other stuff here is passive, so it's free food. This guy, he gives you food, but he does a little bit of damage on the side. You know what I mean? So he's going to go down a tier for that. He's C tier. Wolf spider. Drops wolf spider fangs, spider venom, spider parts, which are pretty unique drops early on in the game. I think I have to put this in an A tier. If you're trying to get the spider fang dagger or the spider armor, you're going to need to kill some of these guys. You can block all of their attacks. They're pretty strong, but if you're good at the game, they're not too difficult to kill if you've got a good enough weapon like a red ant club. So, A tier. Pretty well-balanced enemy. Grubs. You need to kill grubs if you're trying to make a canteen. Why else do you need to kill grubs? For Burgle's quests, mostly, to make grub armor. I'll put them in an A tier, because B tier, they drop meat. This guy drops not only meat, but a couple of extra things on top of it. You can use the grub goop to make smoothies. I also got to mention with the wolf spider, you need their fangs to make the tier 2 plates. On top of other stuff, you know? Bees are gonna have to go in. Now, you can use the drops from bees in order to make black ant armor, antlion armor, well, a piece of antlion armor, and also the bee armor, as well as the stinger spear, which is pretty good. You can also use them, you need them to make these zipline anchors. So I'm going to have to put this in A tier. I think the drops from this guy are very good. As much as I hate killing the bees, how much I find them annoying, I'm going to have to put it in an A tier. I can't see any reason not to. The drops are worthwhile, although they are very strong enemies. If you can take them on one at a time, you're going to have a much easier time. They're much more difficult impacts. Regular roly-poly, A tier. Drops roly-poly parts, drops roly-poly shells, drops tough gunk. Pretty strong, but worth killing. Sickly roly-poly, I think a B tier enemy. The reason I'm putting the sickly roly-poly a tier below is purely because they don't drop the roly-poly shells. So they've got to go a tier below the roly-poly. Although they are easier to kill to make up for that. They also don't drop tough gunk, I don't think. I think they just drop roly-poly parts. But another reason roly-polies are really good, you can use their parts to make repair glue. And the sickly roly-polies drop a lot of roly-poly parts. So if you're trying to get a lot of repair glue, these guys are really, really good for it, even though there's only like 4 or 5 of them on the map. Assistant Manager. Now, the Assistant Manager is going to go 1000 Raw Science, the Key card, which gives you a lot of progression in the game. I think this is an S tier enemy. Some of you might disagree with me here. It gets you the Black Anthill Super Chip, the Sandbox Chip, unlocks the Stump Lab, gets the left side of Sarah's Charm, gives you 1000 Raw Science and a guaranteed gold card, isn't too difficult to kill, is well balanced in my opinion. It's a unique boss fight. It's unique in the sense that the arena's also fighting you, similar to Director Schmector, but the Assistant Manager did it first, where there's like lasers going around and there's the Tesla turrets and stuff. So I think I'm gonna have to put this in an S tier. Before you go, I just realized there's 3 cards missing off this list for some reason. So we're gonna do them because the guy who made the list somehow missed 3 enemies. It's alright though. The first one is the Fire Ant Worker. I think I would put that in B tier along with the Fire Soldier Ant. You can obviously use his parts. You get Fire Ant heads and Fire Ant parts from him, which you can use to make the Fire Ant Shield, which I really like, as well as the Fire Ant Armor, the Orchid Mantis Kebab you obviously need the heads for as well. So for that reason, it can go in a B tier. Actually, I'll put it in an A tier for that reason specifically, because you can use it to make so much stuff, and it's pretty easy to kill. They do follow you around the yard a lot, and they're really annoying, but it's alright. Another one they forgot is the Black Widowling. I'm actually going to put that in S tier, because they're really easy to kill. The web sacks you break give you some really unique drops, which are really, really useful, and each of them you kill drops 5 web fiber, which you, like, if you need web fiber, you farm these guys, bro. They give you so much web fiber. They're worth it for web fiber farming. They're 100% worth it. They're not too difficult to kill, in my opinion. I think they're really well balanced, so they're an S tier enemy for me. Finally, there's the Termite King. It has a unique drop of the Termite King's carapace, which you can use in order to craft the Wizard Hat and the Termite King chestplate. Also, you can get the Woodpile Burgle chip once you've killed him. You don't need to kill him to get it, though, technically. The one problem I do have with this guy is sometimes when you perfect block his attack, it does stun you. Personally, I would put this guy in C tier because he has a unique drop, but it's not crazy useful. I don't feel like I need to get it to beat the game, you know. But he's pretty cool to kill. Not too difficult to kill if you've got a salty weapon. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like on it. Comment down below if your opinions differ to mine, and please be respectful about your opinions in the comments. There's been a few people that have been commenting rather aggressively, so just try to keep it respectful in the comments and be nice. We're all here to have fun at the end of the day. There's nothing too serious about this. If you enjoyed the video, as I say, leave a like on it. Leave a comment on any other tier lists you'd like to see, and I'll see you in the next Grounded video. Have a great rest of your day.